Katie rubbed her eyes. Was it possible she was dreaming that Logan Reeves was standing yards away from her, unchanged since 4 years ago? His chiseled chin, mop of blonde streaked hair, and strong muscular posture were all exactly as Katie had remembered them. How, of all places, did he end up back in Chestertown as the anticipated new center of the Bobcats? Hadn't he been on the best team in the NHL? What had made him come here? Katie watched as Tommy, her and Logan's 4-year-old son, snuggled up to the man who didn't know he was his father. "This is the best day of my life!" Logan pulled the boy tightly to his side, smiling big for the cameras. "Say cheese!" The cameramen snapped away, capturing their blissful smiles, and Katie couldn't help but feel her stomach churn. Neither of them knew that they were family. Yet there they were, inches from each other. This was too much for Katie to bear. She had to get out of there, fast, before one of them got wise and Margot's wrath was summoned again. As the photographers cleared the ice, Logan leaned down toward Tommy with a big grin. "Now, Make-A-Wish told me that I get to take you on a special tour of the stadium. Are you ready, Tommy?" Tommy welled with excitement, jumping up and down on the ice. "Yes, I'm so excited. I dreamed about this so many times." Logan picked the boy up and threw him onto his shoulders, just like a dad would his child. "All right, let's go. Does your mom want to come?" As she heard the words leave Logan's mouth, Katie quickly ducked behind a pillar, hoping they wouldn't catch a glimpse of her. If Logan figured out that the child he was spoiling with the tour was his own son, who knows what would happen? Would Margot Reeves descend upon the area like a plague of demons and disappear Katie and Tommy for good? But when Tommy looked up, his mother was nowhere to be found. "I don't know where she went." Logan patted Tommy on the back and skated toward the doors leading to the Bobcat's den. "That's okay, buddy. We'll find her afterwards." As Logan threw open the doors to the Bobcat's den, replete with locker room, coaching office, and private areas, Tommy's face lit up. He traced his little hands along a row of framed hockey sticks on the wall. "Wow, do you really come back here after every game?" Logan smiled, nodding. "When I start to play for the Bobcats, I will." Tommy touched Logan's hand. "Are you nervous about making friends on your new team?" Logan could tell this boy was perceptive and clever. "Of course I am." Tommy smiled, covering his red cheeks. "I want to be just like you when I grow up. Well, if I get to grow up. If I didn't have to do chemo every week, I would be spitting chiclets." It was the first time that Logan had actually noted Tommy's bald head, the dark circles under his eyes, and his fragile frame. He had only seen his excitement when he first came out onto the ice. But now Logan realized that this boy was very, very sick. "What's your name, kiddo?" Logan stooped down to look at the young man eye to eye. "Tommy. I have leukemia. But don't be sad, my mommy takes very good care of me." Logan frowned. "I'm sorry. That sounds hard." Tommy wrapped his fingers together in a basket. "Yeah, it is, but I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for her. She signed me up for Make-A-Wish. She's my hero." The way Tommy glowed with every word he uttered about his mother made Logan's heart swell. "Clearly, your mommy must be very special. She raised a smart, kind, and brave boy." He plucked the kid back up onto his shoulders. "Come on, we've got to go to my room. I've got another surprise." As the door swung open to Logan's private room, Tommy nearly fell to his knees. "Is that your hockey stick?" Logan laughed. "Yep." Tommy jumped up and down. Oh my gosh, this is the best day ever. Can I please touch it?" Logan folded his arms teasingly. Can you touch it? How about you give it a swing? Do you know how to use one? Tommy ran up to the hockey stick, grabbing it, but his little arms were weak from all of his treatments and he struggled. Logan came rushing after him and wrapped his hands on top of his. Here, you gotta grip it like this. And this is how you swing it. He showed the boy with an expertly executed swing, and Tommy burst into excited laughter. Thank you, Mr. Logan Reeves. You're my new favorite player for the Bobcats. Tommy jumped into Logan's arms and squeezed him with an embrace he hoped would last forever. I'll never forget this. Logan touched the boy on the chin and grinned. Hey, bud. Call me Logan. We're friends now. The next morning, as Katie packed Tommy's lunch, she couldn't help but reminisce about Logan. His surprise appearance at Ironside Rink had blown her away and left her totally listless. The last time Katie had seen Logan, they were about to get married. He had been waiting for her at the courthouse, their marriage license ready to be signed and sworn over. And if Margot hadn't shown up that afternoon, they would have been celebrating their nuptials over a quiet dinner on campus. That night, their whole life together was supposed to start, and she had planned to announce her pregnancy to Logan. But instead, the brutal attack put that all to bed. It had been a nightmare, but at least she had Tommy, her angelic little boy. In some sense, Katie was relieved to see Logan on the ice. He had lived out his dreams against all odds and Margot's desires for his political career. Katie wondered if they had managed to avoid Margot's attack, what their life might be like, and if they would have ended up in the Olympics together. Before Katie got too emotionally involved in her reflections, her phone began ringing, and she was jolted back to her cold, hard reality. Katie, where are you? I'm just finishing up breakfast with Tommy before I head over. What's up? You need to come to the office right away. What's going on? Jared rushed to fill her in. Can't say. It's a very important client requesting a hamstring message. They need your expertise. Katie considered this. But who was this VIP client? I'll be there as soon as I can. Katie hung up and shouted upstairs. Rachel? Katie's sister Rachel came bustling down, her phone in her hand. This was how Katie generally found her sister, looking at some influencer or sports star's profile on social media, flipping through videos or editing clips. Rachel had always had a crazy dream of becoming a famous sports influencer, and she certainly already had the fast-talking demeanor and insatiability to become one of the best. She wondered what her sister's screen time was. It was probably close to 16 hours a day. What's up, K-Dog? Katie started to pack a sandwich for Tommy in a paper bag, crust cut off just how he liked it. I need you to take Tommy into treatment for me. Can you do that? Rachel nodded without even looking up. OMG, of course, sis. Just let me finish this. I got a collab with Punk Pucks. You should see this. It was a killer Game 6 recap from last season. Katie smiled. She was glad her sister had found her passion, even if she didn't understand it. Katie didn't understand how Rachel went online every day and gave her opinions and showed her face to the world. In a way, she envied her ability to showcase herself in the way she did. They might have been sisters, but Katie had always felt that Rachel and she had been polar opposites. I'll give it a listen on the way to work. Katie wrestled her son into a forehead kiss. You're in good hands with Aunt Rachel. Yay! Let's rewatch the Bobcats clips. Rachel scooped Tommy up into her arms and gave him a noogie. Don't you worry, I've got them cued, Tom. Katie waved to them as she patted out the door and headed toward the clinic. As soon as Katie stepped into the office at Elite, Jared came running toward her. Great, you're here. Come with me. He rushed her toward the back of the office, past Katie's own room. Wait, that's my office. Jared shook his head. "We're going to the back, the new private suites." Katie frowned as they moved toward the shiny new private suites Jared had recently renovated. Whoever was coming in had to be a big deal. They reached the swanky new office, and Katie prepped the table. Jared hung in the doorway for one final note. "Katie, if this guy comes back and becomes a regular, you'll have a very busy schedule." Katie nodded hopefully. This is what she needed. More clients meant more money to put towards things that mattered, like Tommy's treatments. She straightened and smiled at Jared. "Great. Send him in." She stood expectantly by the massage table, dressing it with paper when the door swung open. A velvety voice filled the air. "How do you want me?" Katie turned, about to answer, when she nearly fell to the ground. She had managed to avoid him at the rink, but now Logan Reeves was standing right in front of her. She could feel her entire face flushing red, and a tingling sensation growing in her stomach, extending all the way down her legs. "Logan." Logan's eyes widened in surprise. "Katie?" Katie struggled to find her words. It was as though she had been struck by a bolt of lightning. The man whom she had fallen in love with and left without a word 4 years ago was standing right before her. "I'm sorry, I mean, Mr. Reeves." Logan, too, seemed frozen in place. "Oh, you look exactly the same." He almost turned, as if he wanted to leave the room, but then he stopped. "Of course you're the one with the magic touch." Katie tried to keep her voice even and professional. "I heard your hamstring is bothering you?" He stepped toward her. "I've been having some tightness in my leg." He gripped his left hamstring, then winced in pain. Katie was surprised. She wouldn't have known it from his heroic display in the ice the day before the Make-A-Wish event. "Were you injured?" "No." Logan quickly shut the conversation down. She could tell he was uncomfortable. Years of memories came flooding back. How Logan tried hard to hide his emotions. How he struggled with vulnerability. How he steeled himself like a great athlete might in order to push through pain and reach victory. But then Katie's mind began to wander to other places. How his legs felt wrapped around hers. How the muscles on his torso met at his hips. How his strong, hungry hands would trace her body. Katie tried to tamp down a wave of anticipation and pleasure. "Please, lie down on the table. I'll take a look." Logan began to unbuckle his pants, and Katie's eyes couldn't help but move across his built frame. Katie looked up to see him staring at her. "Do you need me to take off my pants?" Katie blushed. "Yes, yeah, you have to, for the treatment. I can leave, though." Logan smirked as Katie went to face the wall, offering some privacy. "I don't remember you being so shy. Haven't you already seen every inch of my body?" Katie felt his words linger in the air. She wanted to let out a moan, a resounding yes. She heard him unzip his trousers, and the fabric hit the floor in a heap. She could feel a rush of pleasure come over her. She felt suddenly self-conscious as his deep voice cut the tension. "I'm ready." Katie turned around and approached the table. She quickly warmed her hands with some massage oil and began working her fingers up the length of his toned thigh. Logan could feel his muscles finally relaxing, surrendering to Katie's touch. Logan let out a soft groan as Katie continued to work her way up his leg. Momentarily, the sound transported Katie back in time, to memories of their two bodies intertwined. And then, as if reading her mind, Logan's jaw tensed. He suddenly pushed Katie's hand away. "Mr. Reeves." Logan quickly grabbed his pants and pulled them on. "This was a bad idea." Logan was gone before Katie could even find the words to reply. Katie stared down the hallway after him, hardly able to process what had just happened. And then Jared rushed in. "What did you do?" Katie herself didn't know the answer. Her body was on fire with a mix of emotions, and she wondered if she would ever see Logan again.